watching, well, not just, but a little while ago, I was watching an interesting video by Australian business owner. His channel name is Cliff Search, Cliffsearch, and I was quite shocked actually to hear about the similarities in Australia where he lives with regard and contrast to America. And the welfare system there sounds to be just as corrupt as ours is here. Fake false disability claims, and he was talking about he can go out and stub his toe and be off for 2 years collecting money from the government, and people having kids so that they get all the food stamps and whatever. And it's a crying shame. It's a crying shame that it happens. I'm sure it doesn't happen only in America, but I don't know. I just thought Australia wasn't as bad. I thought I just thought it was different. But just goes to show when you don't do enough homework, you don't know. But so that surprised me, and I felt that I wanted to do maybe a little reply video to Cliff Search and just tell you, like, yeah, a lot of that happens here. I mean, almost to the T. Like I said, you hit the nail on the head. It's very similar, very similar. Trust, and that's hard to come by. Taxes. You were talking about taxes and how it's hard to make ends meet. It seems like we all have just enough bills that we make enough just to cover the bills we have, and then and that's about it. If we're lucky, most people can't even pay all their bills. Like they got to pay a portion of it, or they don't pay it at all. Until some other time. They got to pay. Things like this. So. I do something kind of unorthodox, and that is I pay myself first. I'm sure you've read that. I read that somewhere before a long time ago, but I didn't start applying that until just a few years ago. And I tell you, it's a even though like I say, it sounds strange or unorthodox, but it helps you save. I mean, we're all stuck. Working, chasing our tails, and just enough to pay the bills, pay all these big corporations that offer us these services and stuff, and then there's nothing left over. I'm talking for the lower and middle class, and so I pay myself first. Screw it. I take some money out of my check every time I get paid, and that goes straight into my hard asset investments, and I just pretend like it was never there, and then I pay my bills and do the things that I do with the money that's left over. Thankfully I have a decent enough job where I could actually take some out and still do what I gotta do and still be okay. But I think anybody with any job, pay yourself first. Those bills are always going to be there. I'm not saying don't pay your bills. Everyone's got to pay their bills, but pay yourself a little bit. Take a little bit out, something realistic, something you can afford. And just take it out and buy yourself some silver. Because like some people struggle to get a dime, a Roosevelt dime or a Mercury dime a week, and some people are only able to maybe get one silver eagle a week or one silver eagle a month. And if that's what you can do, at least you're doing it. In a few years you will have something versus people who have nothing. So a little is better than nothing. But try it. For me, you got to do things a little different. You're doing the same thing as everybody else. The results are going to be the same. So Anyway, so back to what Cliff Search was talking about. The similarities are striking, between Australia and America. I mean, really something else. Uh, I was just shocked, really. I don't know. I just thought, I don't know. I just thought the Australians had their stuff together better than I thought. I don't know. I guess politics has no borders, right? Um, People in power will abuse things and make waste to the system, just like our system is. I mean, our system's really falling apart. I mean, we've got high. I'm preaching to the choir here, but high unemployment. I just saw a video or an article yesterday on Zero Hedge about 101 million Americans are out of work, and a guy, all too common sight, but unfortunate but true, a Vietnam veteran holding a cardboard sign, and he had wrote something funny on there like, homeless vet looking for rich female or rich wife or something like that, trying to make some comedy out of it, but it's not a laughing matter. The government's out spending all this money on wars and all this stuff. But what about the people that fought in the wars? They're not taking care of them. Well, at least not how I'm thinking they should. If I served this country militarily, I would expect them to help me from being homeless. I mean, some things you just can't help. But you hear a lot about suicides, a lot about a lot of stuff that I don't know. But anyway, a lot of corruption, no trust, especially on the internet. A lot of people hide their faces and they hide behind their computers, and because they're scared, right? They don't want people to know their identity so that they don't get taken advantage of, and I don't blame them, but why I don't hide, I don't know. I don't care. What are you gonna do? I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to conversate with my viewers, and I want people to see me. Just my personal thing. But anyway, so like the gentleman in Australia, Cliff Search, he's got to provide a value to people, right? Like business 101, right? If you want to succeed in any business, you got to provide a service or product that brings value to others. And that's what I've been doing with respect to preservation of wealth. I mean, there's value in that, and I believe that. And I believe that since the day I joined Preservation of Wealth, since the day I made my first purchase, and the day I first started promoting it. Because a business, not only does it bring value, but it has to solve some problem, right? So like there's problems, and we can talk about, because it's precious metals. What problems does it solve? Well, one is the dealer markup, right? People like us on YouTube, we're pretty slick, we're pretty sly. We know like where to go, where the good prices are. Our local shops and liquor stores and gas stations, and certain online dealers having deals on certain things here and there. But for the majority of the people out there, they're not really searching stuff out as much as just because they're too busy doing other things and not really paying attention. But so dealer markups. Preservation of wealth, with preservation of wealth, you avoid those dealer markups. Secondly, like I was talking about earlier, fraud. There's a lot of fraud going on, particularly in this digital age. So with the membership, you get the LifeLock identity protection, right? So any information that you put into LifeLock system, any credit cards, debit cards, insurance cards, phone numbers, anything associated to your name, they watch over you. And according to LifeLock, they value that service at around $125 dollars a year, and that's included with your yearly membership with Preservation of Wealth. Thirdly, what other problem does Preservation of Wealth help with? The problem of not having enough money every month. People are looking for opportunities. They're tired of just going to work, just like me. I like network marketing. I think it's fun. I think it's cool to help people and talk to people and show people things like Preservation Wealth, things that have value and solve problems. But I'm not at the point yet where I can quit my regular job. But I'm working on it, right? And I think that if you have something that you believe in, and in this economy where precious metals really, it makes it's something to talk about. It's really something to educate people about. I think if we had a really strong economy and the dollar was strong, and we wouldn't even be discussing, there would be no silver community. But thanks to these lawmakers and Ben Bernanke and Greenspan and all the guys that screwed things up over the years, things are finally starting to come to a head. So I just don't see a better time than now. I somebody ran into me at work the other day, and we had a discussion about silver and the prices. And I was like, he came up to me, he says, "Hey, I told you the price of silver is going down. What is it at 20, 24, 25 now?" I'm like, "No, it's like 27, 28. It was like 20, high 26s, 27, something like that." And he goes, "It's going down, man." And I go, "No way, it's not going to go down to 25 or 20. And I said, "If it does, it's not going to stay there long, because realistically, I cannot see silver and gold, specifically silver, going to $20 and staying there for any significant amount of time, significant period of time. I just don't see it, because people like me, people like you, the big boys like Sprott, Rogers, Rocky, the big boys will start pulling the wallets out. Institutional money will start getting in at that point. Likely gold will be at 1,000, or and silver will be at $20, $15. I mean, that will put such a squeeze. I mean, there's a lot of silver out there, I understand that, but silver in bar and coin form, ready for sale, if like 1% of the population got involved, whereas I'm thinking now it's like 1/10 of 1%. So if like 10 times the people get involved that are involved today, or even 20 times, which is like 2% of the population, which is kind of high, but I'm thinking like if just 1% of the population of this country got involved, it would put such a squeeze on the market that it would squeeze it. The price would shoot up like toothpaste coming out of a tube. It would just be an instant bubble. And so that's why I think Preservation of Wealth has been good the last couple of years, because of these uncertain markets, uncertain times. And I think it's going to be even better all the way through the bubble stage, because eventually, we know that the metals will be in a bubble. And I'm looking forward to that day, whenever that might be. But, in the meantime, I want to increase my monthly income, my yearly income. I want to help other people, bring people value. And speaking of value, I started a Facebook page.